Scroll until you see the listing for the Board of Finance meeting. In town meetings for tonight, Griswold will have a Board of Selectmen meeting, and that will be at Town Hall, 28 Main Street here in Jewett City. The agenda is listed on the town's website, which is www.griswold-ct.org. And if you click on the left-hand toolbar, there's a radio button there that says Meetings and Agendas. Click on there, and you'll be able to pick up the agenda for tonight's meeting, as well as the Zoom ID and password to join in. The Department of Energy and Environmental Protection have put out a warning to be careful on the roadways this spring. And it's not just about looking for deer on the roadways, but also moose. There aren't many in the state and live primarily in the northwest corner of the state, according to DEEP. But there have been some moose sightings in eastern Connecticut as close as Ashford and Mansfield. There's been one moose-related car accident, and that was in the town of Goshen.
And let's take a look at the forecast right now for eastern Connecticut. Here he is. It's Paul Ash.
Good morning, everybody. Right now, the temperature downtown Jewett City is 48 degrees. Plenty of sunshine around today. However, there could be some clouds mixed. Highs will be around 64 degrees. However, that damn wind continues to blow between 10 to 15 miles per hour.
That damn wind.
I mean, it's been like March for the last month and a half. But tonight, partly cloudy skies, lows around 42 degrees. For your Thursday, well, generally sunny, despite a few afternoon clouds. Highs will be around 69 degrees. Again, no wind is here. And for Thursday night, mainly clear, lows around 44. And that's your weather on this Wednesday from SNSN 05/12/2021.
Yo.
I like when they play nothing but music.
The local station.
Absolutely love the station.
The streaming news and sports network.
All right. Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday morning, smack dab in the middle of the week. Paul Lash is here along with Austin. Hey, guys.
Hey, what's going on?
Very much like the Fonz.
Yeah.
Hey. Except I don't have a leather jacket and a pompadour. No, he didn't have a pompadour.
Yeah.
He had a cowlick.
Guess what? You got to comb your hair different. He had a duck's ass on the back of his head.
That's a ducktail. It's a ducktail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, speaking of poultry.
Oh, poultry.
Oh no.
So, we, there's been, all this stuff about, what businesses, that we want coming to town, or, sort of a wish list,
right?
Here in Griswold or in Plainfield or in Lisbon or Sterling or, some of the, Voluntown, some of the surrounding towns.
Just in the local area.
Yeah. Well, what kind of businesses that you would like to see in your area? So, me, of course, being, the resident smartass, I figured, all right, well, I'm going to put it up there. I want to see what people say.
Right.
But one thing that we found out yesterday is there's, we've talked about, let's get off the data center thing for a minute.
Right.
Because, that's going to be going on for a long time.
Yeah, it's going to take a while.
That's going to take a while. So let's talk about businesses that are coming into Griswold. And we had found out about one yesterday, Paul, and you kind of heard about it first.
I heard that there was a chicken manure factory coming in. Possibly. Yeah. It was rumored that they were coming in on 138. And I
thought it was, okay, go ahead.
On 138.
Yeah.
Or I believe that's where it is, but I'm not sure where it is. But
I heard it was going behind Arrowhead 2.
Oh.
Over by Norman Farm. I mean, not on Norman Farm, or
somewhere around there.
So in the vicinity.
Oh.
But more like, like right behind Arrowhead 2. I guess there's some space there. Yeah. I heard of that. So anyway, go ahead.
Well, I don't know. Apparently what this factory does is that they take and they truckload chicken manure in.
Yeah.
And then they bring it in because it's going to have a furnace. And apparently they dry it.
Okay.
And then put some kind of chemical else into it.
Right.
And then they bag it. And then people can buy it as fertilizer for their gardens. Huh. Very similar to what they do elsewhere, I guess, in the other part of the state where they a company that does that. So
I was actually going to ask you if it was a processing plant, but
it's a processing plant. And
okay.
I mean, it's gonna have. Well, I'm sure there'll be some kind of environmental stuff so that smoke going up in the air.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Right.
stink too bad.
I'm just,
Right.
I know, because I mean, because you know that smell you get, at the beginning, way early, spring, where I mean, it really is from like Lisbon,
Oh yeah,
Jewett
that's
City,
because that's because
Springfield. Oh, yeah.
they're taking the chicken manure and
Right.
sticking it flat out on the land, and then they
Yeah.
plow it
Yeah.
under eventually.
Yep.
But they're still going to truck it in, so you might be a little smell.
So all through town, we're still going to get that.
Oh, I would think
Probably,
so.
huh?
Probably, yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're going to bring it to this plant, and I would think that when they put it in this furnace,
Yep.
that it's going to give away some sort of odor as well. I wonder if people will complain.
What do you think?
I don't know. So,
Yeah.
but apparently they're paying big dollars for this thing too.
Yeah.
So
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many jobs. I think it's like what, 50 jobs or something like that.
yeah,
That's not bad.
it's a lot of shit.
But
So
then-
what do you think, folks? I mean, a chicken manure farm.
Yeah,
They're going to truck it in from like Bolton or Ashford or something like
Someplace
that,
like- yeah.
Somewhere.
because they don't want it there.
No.
Of course not.
So of course, we want to lower our tax base here.
well, why not?
So we're going to bring in the chicken manure here.
Yeah.
And process it out, like I said, by Arrowhead 2.
Then
You
I
know,
guess
in that
then I
area.
heard they can expand it into cow manure as well.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of cow manure around. This
Oh,
town.
That's
definitely,
true.
definitely,
That's
definitely.
true.
They could
Yeah,
actually-
Plenty of cows.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because you both have chicken manure and cow manure are actually good for gardens.
There you
Yeah.
go. And you know what? You got to have farmers to have food, right?
Right, right.
So there you go. So there's the circle of life right
Yeah.
there.
Exactly.
And there's something about the taxes too, that what I heard as well is they can't tax it because they're taxing the chicken feed.
Oh yeah,
So you can't tax the chicken poop.
Fair enough.
So that's like you're
Yeah.
taxing it twice.
Yeah.
that's not going to work. No.
So,
it's
yeah.
good thought, but it ain't going to happen. Well,
See, okay.
it'd be revenue coming into the company. It'll add to
Yeah,
the into the town.
Yeah.
It'll add to our tax
Yeah.
base. Why
Yeah.
not have a factory? Nothing wrong with it.
No.
Plus people get jobs.
That's right.
Jobs.
Yeah, and probably I wonder if you could probably
Yeah.
go there and buy it cheap. They probably sell it right out of the plant.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
And then
What
it's
a great
cheaper.
deal for Griswold, everybody.
Yeah.
I know.
I heard it was
Honestly.
run by Tyson Chicken Farms.
Oh, I don't know.
It was either
I
it's
don't-
one
I-
of the big two. Tyson.
No, they don't give out the name.
Yeah,
So
I was gonna say.
when it's rumored like
So I'm
Yeah.
going out there and saying Tyson. Tyson's
they
bringing
don't- they
chicken
don't-
crap here.
that, they don't give out the name. That's the one thing they don't do.
Yeah.
But-
I was
Well,
gonna say
you
this
know,
is the
it could
first
be-
time
I
I'm
think
hearing
it'd
of
be
it.
a good thing.
Could be, yeah, could be.
I think. Other
I think it could be very
other than maybe,
beneficial.
just you get used to the smell. What's the big deal?
Yeah, what's the big deal? You get
Yeah,
used to it.
exactly.
It'd be
You're having a picnic.
I mean,
You're having a cookout.
no different than living next to a farm.
True. And if you're
Yeah.
if you're running your smoker or your
They go smell like
you're not gonna smell nothing.
Nah.
Right.
Come on.
I
Get
think.
over it.
And I live next to two farms. So
Yeah,
I get that smell constantly.
that's right. So
Yeah.
share the love.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
during August, I mean, what do you got? You got the
Nothing like hot chicken shit. Yeah.
no. I mean, you got the flowers blooming out there next to the ice cream place.
True. Well, whoa. Perfect. You get a good stiff wind down there. I'll have a double pistachio and what's that smell? Well, that's the
Oh, it
new
wouldn't-
chicken manure
It
farm
wouldn't
here
go-
in
it wouldn't-
Griswold.
It wouldn't go that
You don't think so? Are you kidding me? They spread the manure in Lisbon, and you can smell it clear to Plainfield, man.
far. Yeah, but you get the smell until it dries. So when the trucks bring it in, you probably get some smell. As soon as it hits the furnace, it's going to dry it out.
So it looks like
Right.
Roxana from Indiana says, "Good morning." Now, Roxana, I want to ask you a question. I mean, there's a lot of farmland out there. Do you guys have chicken manure farms? Like the one they're going to bring here to Griswold? Like to know what you think. 'Cause I know there's a lot of farms out
Yeah.
there. So,
process it.
yeah, maybe they're going to ship it from places in the Midwest.
I don't
And
know.
they're gonna
I
send it
mean,
here,
They,
you know?
They do, I mean, they bag it.
She
and-
says, no, they don't.
Oh, they,
No,
they,
okay.
well, not my backyard.
Well, no.
Indiana's missing out.
Indy NIMBY. You know what NIMBY stands for, right?
Yeah.
Not in my backyard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. Good morning, Laura. Laura, I got a question for you. Have you heard about the chicken manure plant coming to Griswold? That's the big question. I think it's been pretty hush hush. It's been rumored now for about 6 months.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the first time I'm hearing of it.
Yeah. They didn't go to Plainfield. They wanted to
Yeah.
come to Griswold.
Right. Right.
Roxanne says we have a farm here. However, it's corn, wheat, and soy. Okay.
Hmm.
But do they fertilize it with chicken poop? That's the question.
No, they stick it in the ground, hope for the best.
You got to remember that you can buy the stuff that's been processed in the bag.
Right.
You
That's
just
true.
go over to Home Depot or Lowe's and you'll find it manure. In a
Look,
bag.
Laura,
Yeah.
you live up north from here, right? About 20 miles.
Live
if I'm
up
not
north
mistaken.
in Pepperidge Farms.
Pepperidge Farm, remember us.
Oh, good Lord. No, this
Remember.
again, please.
No.
We can't do this
So-
anymore.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm really concerned. That all of all the business, that people want in here, nobody's in here talking about it.
Mhm.
I think
You
I
know-
think it's just somebody let it out of the bag here over the last couple of days.
Yeah,
I don't know who, but somebody's
it came out somewhere.
right. Yeah, but I don't know.
I wonder if the Board of Finance knows anything about this because I didn't hear it from the Board of Finance
No, I
member.
didn't either. No.
You
Well,
would think they would know.
this revenue coming into the town.
Yeah,
We need to build
yeah.
our tax base.
Yeah, apparently they're going to put it up pretty quick too. It's going to, this.
Well, yeah, it's a steel building.
Oh, okay, all right.
can
So
put
it'll be
those up
really
pretty-
quick.
They can do this pretty quick.
So a chicken manure plant coming to Griswold, somewhere over by Arrowhead 2,
Somewhere up there.
by that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
right
pretty
around the
good.
highway.
Right.
Right around the
So they can
highway.
get on and off pretty easy with the trucks. Because they're going to truck it in.
Right.
Roxana says, I mean, I'm trying to get home and open a business, but with a chicken shit smell, yuck. I mean, beggars can't be choosers. I mean, we want revenue in this
Well-
town, so you gotta let it happen.
Yeah,
Right.
There'll be some smell, but it's not like we're putting it out in your backyard with open. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, any kind of factory's going. I'm sure there'll be some kind of scrubbers or something.
Scott Davis,
Finance guy.
Scott, you're right now the finance guy.
Finance guy.
The Board of Finance chairman.
Yeah.
He says, "You think we would be in the know?" I would think so too, Scott.
Oh, you gotta be.
Good.
I would think so too, but
Oh, get used to it. You guys,
get
are,
used to not knowing, Scott.
you guys are the last ones ever to know. Oh.
Oh, this is taking some twists and turns, is it not?
Yep.
Yep.
I think it'd be great, man.
Huh?
It'd be great.
Yeah. Well, it's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Chicken manure farm in Griswold. I mean, the only problem that I have with it is that it's kind of close to a residential area.
Well, if you got land,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
it's for sale.
Yeah.
That's
And they're going to
true.
give you a good buy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
What are you going to do?
They're not going to care who's
I
living
don't
there.
give a damn about you, man.
No,
I'm getting my
no.
couple of $1 million, whatever they're
That's
selling
it.
for.
That's it.
Yeah,
I'm going to sell it to whoever. We don't
Yeah.
care.
I don't care.
It's business.
Yep.
Well,
Business
It
is
is.
business.
yeah.
And
Well-
business is booming, baby.
They are not making chicken salad, Daryl. No, they're making chicken shit salad.
That's a chicken salad you want to eat. That's got a little extra protein in it for you.
You can get it in smooth and chunky.
Oh, that's vile. Oh,
Well,
oh,
Well,
it's true. I mean, come on. We want business to come to town. So one is decided that they're going to come here,
right.
right? And a chicken manure farm. They're going to have. You said let's talk about because more people are coming into the room. Talk about they're going to have a big furnace or what
Well, it-
oven or what?
well, yeah, drying
Well,
furnace.
They got to have a drying furnace.
Right.
Because they bring it in by truckloads. Of course,
Yeah.
It's gonna be wet. It's gonna be moist and damp.
Moist.
Moist
Wow.
chicken dookie.
So, I mean, the big,
Liquid chicken shit.
and it's going right off the highway. Just bring it off the highway, bring it in.
Yeah.
Convey it into the factory.
Do you think they'll drive right through town? if it's a shorter route, logistics, they got to
It's
save
possible.
gas.
That's fine.
Ooh, that'd suck. Are they gonna? Are they gonna do it by?
Then they're gonna dry it, and I'm sure they put some other kind of agent in there to, help
Stabilize it and-
stabilize it, and make it a real fertilizer.
Well,
Right.
they've
Then they
got
have some kind of a bagging facility where you
Right.
bag it.
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's
Well,
gonna
I
be a
would,
couple different buildings.
Yeah.
I would think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
with a lot of computers going whirring and stuff, because you got to keep it cool. Because if you don't, then it really reeks.
Well,
Right.
Well, I'm sure that once it goes through the heating process, there's something that they put it in to let once it dries,
It's got to ferment.
and then it
Ferments.
then it's gonna put it in bags, and they're gonna stack it outside probably.
Yeah.
Or
Probably,
sometime.
yeah.
And then they'll truck it off to home, places that
Home Depot, Lowe's,
or even
um,
farmers.
Yeah,
You
Cumberland Farms.
Hey,
Yeah.
Country Farms. Country Farms. It's a country store,
Yeah.
so
Doesn't
you would need
necessarily
country
mean-
items.
Country
they
kitchen.
may ship it here. They may ship it out.
Cracker Barrel.
They may
Yeah.
ship it out west. Who the hell knows?
I don't think Dominic Scavone is a fan. He says, "Great, a new smell for one of Grizzled Now's favorite game. You know that game. What's that smell?" Yeah, Dominic. But geez, they're not even gonna have a town meeting on this. There's no town meeting because it's just a private land deal. That's all that it is.
That's right. They don't have a town meeting when you sell your house.
Yeah, they're not looking for a tax deal.
Nope.
They
They're just gonna put it in there.
let the chickens poop. Then I hear that they're going to expand
Yes.
and they're going to bring up to 50,000 chickens, so to create their own. Because it'll slow down
Well, then it'll be an egg
and
farm.
stop. No, these aren't egg chickens. They don't lay eggs. They just lay poop.
I
You
never
know,
heard of that.
But just think, it'll really boost the business for all of the corn farmers. These chickens eat corn, so they need that.
Right.
That's true.
It's a circle of life, man.
Yeah.
And you were talking about it earlier. You were talking about they might expand to cows eventually.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of cows in the area, and what's the sense of not having
Well,
them?
a lot of the farmers, they spread it on their fields, but they also could bring it there and
Right.
get rid
Right.
of it.
Yep.
You just keep reusing it.
Well, not only they can go to not only chickens, now you got cattle,
Yeah.
then you can have horses.
Yeah.
But they get it with that.
Yep.
So you can see it's a real business could grow into a lot of different areas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
So
can
what do you
have-
folks think? A
Three
chicken
different
manure
kinds of-
farm here in
three different-
Grizzled,
yeah.
is that something that you would welcome with open arms?
Yeah. I mean, horse manure, I think, is good for your flowers.
That's what I hear.
So there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm sure there's plenty of people around here that have horses and people around the country.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Dominic, they don't. It's not so much that they play that game. What's that smell? They play that. Hey, who's the new guy walking on the street I've never seen? Shall I call the police?
oh well,
I
What's
think
new
people
in
are
town that I can
speechless on this
complain
one.
I think so.
I think
where it comes in.
Ooh.
Yeah, you heard about people against the gun range?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Daryl says, "Does that mean we're getting a KFC too?" Probably not, Daryl. Probably not.
Different type of chicken farm.
That's that's different.
This isn't kernels. This is a different blend of herbs and spices. Why does my chicken look like mashed potatoes?
God.
I'd like
David,
to see you try to bread and fry chicken shit.
you're already famous, Austin, because David from Hamden says, "Is Austin laying anything in the studio today?" I guess he's familiar with your Monday advent.
Uh-oh.
Well, we gotta wait. Jim's here, and
He's already breaking stuff.
mm,
You heard about the chicken manure farm coming in?
No, but that's fine.
Yeah.
yeah. See,
Yeah, we figured that they're gonna build a chicken manure processing plant in Griswold. So they truck the chicken manure.
Not
in.
far from where you reside, as a matter of fact, over by Arrowhead 2, some of that farmland over by the highway.
Hey, we need more farmland.
See?
Yeah. So
All our farmland is getting chopped up for McMansions.
McMansions.
well, I don't know if there'll be any mansions around here, but yeah.
Dominic,
Go ahead.
no, say Dominic says nobody wants business, but everybody wants lower taxes.
Yep. That's the truth.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I think it's what the hell? It's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
I just, this doesn't sound reasonable to me because
Why?
why? Because there's
Yeah.
hardly any farms left. What are you going to do? Get a wheelbarrow full of chicken manure every day?
Oh no.
No.
Truck it in.
They're going to truck
Yeah.
it in.
They're going
from
to
other
truck it in.
towns.
They're going to bring
Bolton,
trucks in.
I know they're coming from Bolton, Ashford that way,
Yeah.
and they're bringing it in. They're going to process it here. You said they're going to have it's going to be
A big steel building.
Yeah, we got a furnace in there where they bring it in and dry it.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, this doesn't pass the smell test. Okay.
I don't see how it would. It's stinky.
Yeah. But
Even if it didn't stink, it doesn't smell. It doesn't pass the smell
Yeah.
test.
It doesn't matter. It's coming in, and they'll be and Jim, your taxes will be chicken shit.
not only that, there'll be a whole new group formed.
Uh-oh.
Residents against chicken crap.
Rackable.
There'll be a whole group formed.
I don't know where you guys were last night, but whatever you were drinking or smoking, I think you should lay off of it.
I really think, Jim, you would have known about this, being the man about town that you are, and all of the committees. I would have think if anybody would have known about this chicken poop processing plant, you would know. Now that you don't know about it, I'm completely deceived by what it is, you do. What the hell, Jim? I think that you would know.
I've retired.
Oh.
Oh well.
You don't want a chicken poop farm?
Well, I'm sure.
Hey, I lived across the street practically from a turkey farm years ago when I was a boy growing up. All right. Doesn't bother me.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
So there's a lot
you
of
know-
smell, right?
You want your food, but you want somebody else to take and pay the price for it.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah.
So Joanne McCoy, going to ask you a question. I see that you're commenting here in the room. She says, "Ooh, a Cracker Barrel restaurant is country." How do you feel about the chicken manure farm coming to Griswold?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? That's what we would like to know. It's going to be not too far off the beaten path of
Close to the highway.
residential. It's close to the highway, so logistics are great. In and out pretty quick. So to save gas money and stuff like that.
Yeah, we may be getting some complaints with Plainfield.
Well,
Oh well.
It'll be rolling down towards the new Amazon building.
well, what they say, shit rolls downhill.
Well, you might be able to buy a bag on Amazon.
Oh my
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There you go. Locally grown and fresher.
There you go.
There you go.
Hey,
We've
when
done
I
it,
was
boys.
when I was younger, I used to clean out 3-story chicken houses that were a couple of 100 feet long and 50 feet deep. Okay, put it on the hay fields.
Yeah, that
So,
was the
yeah.
old way of doing it. Now they have.
But see, when you get somebody that's old school like Jim that's done this in the
Yeah.
past, it's not a big deal. But get white collar
They have no idea what chicken
Uh,
manure is.
Jim and Jesse, they don't want this stuff. Joanne says, I love it. Also, I wanted the gun range.
Oh, sure.
So there you go.
Oh,
So
yeah. Well, I'm
Well,
sure.
why are you staring a hole in me? I'm surprised you don't know.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Being a
Hey, look at. I'll believe it when I see it.
Or smell it.
smell it.
Okay. It's like cryptocurrencies. You don't own it if you don't hold it.
I guess the $1,000 I made yesterday isn't real. So
I'm not saying it isn't real
Oh.
yesterday.
I don't care if it's real or not. NFTs aren't real either, but they're selling that stuff.
What's that?
NFTs. Look that one up. You think cryptocurrency is
I don't
something?
know what NFTs are.
NFTs are I can't even explain it. It's like if Austin draws a picture or something like that, he can sell the rights to it to you, but you don't own the picture. You own the rights to it. It's kind of like I can sell you the Brooklyn Bridge or my interest in the Brooklyn Bridge. So now Austin can't sell that picture without your consent. And if he sells it, you get the money. That's the basis of NFTs. And eBay has now started to sell NFTs. Weird. And they're
that is
bringing
weird.
they're bringing big bucks in too.
I don't know that I have ever done anything on eBay.
No, I'm just telling you the basis of what it is.
And I'm seeing stuff for sale on eBay that I can go buy any place for less money.
Oh, I don't buy anything on eBay.
Yeah.
I don't buy anything on eBay anymore.
Yeah, it used to be pretty good at one time.
Yeah,
Now-
not
now
anymore.
it's-
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like going.
It's a
downhill.
diluted marketplace.
Yeah,
it
it's
really
going
is.
In fact, I have a friend that lost some money through eBay when he bought a tractor.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. I used to sell some stuff on eBay, but the only people making money is eBay because their seller fees are ridiculous.
How do you think I bought my car?
Did you buy it on eBay?
eBay.
Which one?
My Chevy.
Really?
I didn't know you had a Chevy. I thought you were a Dodge man.
No, I
through
have,
and
I have
through.
a Chevy too.
What year?
70.
You have a
70.
Chevy truck?
Chevy car. I have a Malibu.
Oh, yeah.
I
Can do
bought
about
that on
yeah.
eBay.
I wish I had the half a dozen 1950 Chevrolets that I owned.
Yeah. Came from where the hell did it come from? Oregon.
Cool.
Yeah. The guy shipped it to me, no problem. I had the bank wired the
Yeah,
money.
he
to
just
him.
drove it.
Yeah. Came to my house, came up by the VFW with a truck, backed out of the truck and drove it down my yard.
Was it a good deal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in retrospect, probably.
Had a lot of pitches. Must have been 40, 50 pitches. A little nervous to begin with, looking at the pitches, but when it came, it matched with pitches real well. So I was fortunate enough to.
Yeah,
So-
I can't imagine buying something like that sight unseen.
You know, that's
there's
one of the
restorations, and then there's restorations.
that's one of those generational differences, Jim. That's where things are going online. I am surprised. I mean, look at Crystal Mall, gone, done. You know what? It's kind of like video killed the radio star, right? Well, online shopping killed the shopping mall.
Yeah.
It really did. I mean, you have shopping malls like outlets. You know, they're guaranteeing low prices and stuff like that, or lower than you would find in a store,
Right.
and people go there. But
Right.
they're only in places where usually there's other attraction as well, like Foxwoods.
Yep.
You know, you have the Tanger outlets that are there. You know,
But even they're gone now.
what's that?
Half of the Tanger outlets are closed.
No, they're coming back.
Are they coming
Oh,
back?
Yeah, a lot of them shut down and stuff like that just because of
The pandemic.
exactly. But no, they're coming back.
Okay.
So
Well, unfortunately, the so-called pandemic has destroyed much business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
much,
you heard,
much,
you heard
much
the
of
new
which
thing?
will never. No,
You heard the new thing in the fall?
no.
Flu. Flu's coming back.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the new thing now.
Well, of course, obviously, the COVID was a vaccine for flu because once COVID came here, there's no more reports of people being
Flu.
sick from flu.
Right.
The whole thing is such a fraud. It's unbelievable.
So anyway, the chicken shit farm is coming to Griswold.
That's right. I'm looking forward to it. Not in my
Yeah.
backyard.
Yeah.
I can't say it from my house.
Austin, do you vote yes on the chicken manure
I
farm?
vote yes.
Paul,
We need
Absolutely.
infrastructure and money.
all right. Jim,
I say it isn't coming.
Oh well, we'll find out.
God, you're such a poo-poo guy.
I don't know where you guys get your news from.
Hey,
You must be watching. You must be watching it from the Washington D.C. area.
What's wrong with having a chicken farm, chicken manure farm in Google?
There's nothing wrong with it.
Absolutely.
all right. So I don't know why you're being all negative Nancy about this.
I'm just saying it isn't happening.
You don't know that.
My intuition and my common sense tells me it isn't happening. It's a failed. If a chicken manure processing plant is coming to Griswold, it's a failed operation before it even gets there. How much is it going to cost? How much are you going to be able to sell the product for? How much is it going to
That's up
cost?
to them.
How
gotta
much
ship
is it going to
nationwide.
cost you to truck it from Bolton and wherever else you're going to truck it
They
at
do it all the
$4 a
time.
gallon for diesel fuel?
They
So
do it all-
Daryl just said right out, Jim thinks SNSN is fake news.
I guess I hadn't thought about that, but it seems like it's heading in that direction.
It's fake news.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, here we go.
Well, anyway, here's the thing about what's this another? Why is he poo-pooing the chicken farm?
Not
The
poo-pooing
jokes-
it at all.
The jokes for days on this one.
All right, have they pulled a building permit?
Not yet.
Do they have a zoning permit?
Yes.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
Well,
That's how I found out.
I was headed for the town hall anyways, and I saw that.
Might as well find
I
out.
saw that I saw that fake news was still here, so I
That's
decided
it.
to stop.
Fake news, man. Well, there's one thing I do got to say about the chicken poop farm that's coming. It's all horse shit.
Mhm.
And you just ruined the whole thing, man. We had people going, there is no chicken farm coming to Griswold.
Mhm.
There is no chicken poop farm coming to Griswold. It is not happening. This was a setup. This was a setup.
Is
And
it?
why?
Is it?
It is.
Is it?
It is.
Is it?
Oh,
We
this is gonna be
may-
the next hour.
We may never know.
We never know.
That's true.
I
Here's
guess
the thing. When you said this earlier,
Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, this is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Let's put it out there that a chicken manure farm, let's make up this story.
right.
That a chicken manure farm, and between the three of us, you, me, and Austin, we came up with this whole thing about a chicken farm and chicken poop and
Right.
what it would do and where it's going to be. And
But
because nobody
go ahead.
wanted to think of something that was so vile that people would say no. Let's not. They didn't.
Well, if you had said something to the effect that there was a sewer sludge processing plant coming here, okay, that might have been slightly more believable, but not really.
Well, we wanted to kind of be out there a little bit.
You're out there.
Just-
Well,
right.
He's
But
absolutely correct because people
there's a
are-
reason.
because people are already bitching about the possibilities data centers coming, which we know is out now because they've already been the zoning.
Yeah.
And they're bitching about the data centers coming in.
And what is the complaint? I mean,
Well-
I can have my own complaints, but what's the complaint?
I don't know, Mike, you had them on your Facebook page. Well,
What's that?
The people are bitching about the data centers coming in.
Yeah, and honestly, there's only so much that's out there right now about the data centers, and I mean it's put out there where they're going to be or where they're proposed to be. There's a lot of debate on taxes and who's paying what, if they're going to pay anything. There's a 20 to 30-year agreement that could be in place. There's a lot of things that are not balanced, and there's not a lot of 100% fact. You have one side saying one thing, you have another side saying another. So, it's to come out. The biggest thing that I worry about is that you get enough people poo-pooing this kind of stuff, and then they scare these people out of town.
Yep.
And that's frightening to me. So, the thing is that two of these different sites, they're in the woods. They're in the woods. They're literally in the woods. If you go to their website, it shows site 1 being out by Bishop Crossing. Where's that? That's in the woods.
Mhm.
There's nobody out there. There's a few people, but not really anything. And then some on Root Road, way out in the woods, off the beaten path, and then some on 164, way back in the woods. And people are talking about, oh well, the fans whirring is very loud, because you got to keep it cool and stuff. And that. I'm thinking, well, why don't we just shut down the highways?
Yeah.
Why don't we just tell people they can't drive their motorcycles through town? Because it's too loud.
So we
And
can't
there are a
have
few people who go roaring through town on a motorcycle with practically open pipes.
true,
True.
true,
And that is obnoxious.
true.
Well, yeah. Well, you just heard that
It
right
is
there.
There it is
see,
now.
right?
And that
But-
one's quiet compared to
But
some.
let's say, but make it unlawful. See, that's not unlawful. You know, they're going to complain about this. You know, something that's generating tax revenue.
Mhm.
You know, they're worried about the noise.
Yeah.
This
And
is
the,
this
and the
is-
reason why we talked about the chicken manure factory, only because if you did, the data center's not really going to do anything to the environment other than sit
Right.
there where you get the smell of the chicken manure as possible. So what do you get? You get something that's pretty quiet, or you want smell from the chicken manure? That's all we're trying to do is give an
Right,
example of
right.
something that could be extreme, and people would still bitch about it. So, be happy that you got data centers coming in that
or anything.
or anything coming in, which has been
Yeah.
a lot. I mean, everybody wants everything in this town. They want all this expansion. They want this. They want that. Well, if you don't have any money, how can you do anything? But
Yep.
this is an opportunity for the town to.
Grizzled is buying right now. They're not selling. Residents, I think, want to sell. You know, they think that's I think some residents feel that's the only way we're going to gain, any kind of capital is if we sell, sell, sell.
I'm not. What do you mean by sell, Mike?
Not bring anything in, not bring it, shoot business ideas down. Grizzle needs to buy, bring people to town, grow business, expand the tax base.
No question about it.
Right, but the problem is that whenever that happens, there are a lot of residents that say, no, we don't want that.
Well, I mean, Griswold, and I'm a short termer here, okay? And I've only been in this area for 22 years, okay? But Griswold was always a farming community. And there still is a lot of, I mean, I come from a farming background. We've been here since 1624.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we're ancestors of the Mayflower. I'm not absolutely positive of that. But I know for fact we were here since 1624. My entire family has been farmers up until 2 generations ago. I mean, my great grandfather, he had 1,400 acres up in Stratton in Jamaica, Vermont.
Mhm.
Okay, so the people that come from that background that have been here for centuries, okay, maybe they don't want to see the changes that have happened or the changes that are coming.
Well, Paul, how many times have I said to you, we're like in a generational shift?
Mhm.
You still have a lot of old money and you have newer generations, call them Gen Z, call them Gen Y, whatever. And they're battling. They're constantly battling and battling and battling. What's going to happen, and this is just evolution, is that the old money will become the current money because the older folks will either move on or pass away. Right? Then you have it's going to be Austin's world, pretty soon, if it isn't already. Austin's 19 years old.
Well, I would say that Austin's probably not going to screw up the world any worse than my generation and the generation that a couple of generations that have followed that.
Now, I'm listening to the feed right now. Donna says all your sentences are repeating twice. Donna, refresh your feed because it's fine on mine. So try that. That might help you. But you understand what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
it's
But-
out with the old, in with the new, and that's just
Well,
evolution. It's just
We
And
have
then-
to move. We have to.
it's just a
move.
cycle.
We have to move forward. If we
Mhm.
don't move forward, we're going to be like the shopping centers that are going on today. We just can't stay where we are. We have to get money into the town. We have to bring business into the town because if we
Yeah.
don't, we're going to stay. You want to walk around just be cows? No, that can't happen. No, we have to move forward, become part of the new century here.
And a lot of times, and Jim, don't take offense to this, but a lot of times the old money, they don't want to give it up. They don't want to go ahead and help develop the newer guys or the newer families and stuff like that. Did you ever think, really, I mean, really, you too, Paul. Did you ever think that people would be shopping online?
No.
For almost everything?
No.
You can. You can get anything you want online.
Right.
But before it was, well, you couldn't get food. Now you can get food.
Yeah, you can.
About the only thing I buy online is books.
Huh?
About the only thing I buy online is
Well,
Okay,
that's you.
that's you.
Yeah, I know.
That's you. But if you look at the
I
other,
mean, my grandson, he has clothing sent to the house
Sure.
every couple of weeks, and 99% of it sends back. I mean, the markup has got to be unbelievable because you got postage coming out, you got postage going back. I
guess
mean,
what? 10 years, you won't have books.
Yeah, you're right.
Everything. A lot of things are horrible now. I mean,
Right.
Right.
Either audible or digital. I mean, look at newspapers. Done.
Well,
They're
I mean,
done.
see, I'm not a big fan. If I'm trying to learn something, I'm not a big fan of video because most of the people that are producing videos, they put about 5 minutes worth of real content in a half an hour worth of video.
Yeah.
Jim,
Okay, I can
you
read.
like content. You like full content.
Yeah.
You want to,
Yeah.
and that's okay. This generation, sorry, Austin, 120 characters or less. Short attention span theater. It really is. They move on. I mean, my ex has said about my daughter Rihanna, oh my goodness, she likes songs 15 seconds at a time because of an app called TikTok. So she knows like every song about 15 seconds because that's what they play.
Yep.
And that's the generation. People today, and this is, I don't agree with this, but it's true. And while we've talked about this as well, right now, people look at headlines or they'll look at something that they're scrolling through online and they look at the headline or the header and they think they know what it's all about. And they don't.
And they don't because usually
Because they don't read
head-ons
it.
are just come-ons.
Exactly. Scott Davis says, so disappointed it was fake news. I thought we had a new conspiracy.
Come down and join us for Conspiracy Theories 101 one of these days, Scott.
Yeah, and Donna says refreshing the feed worked. So good, Donna.
That's good.
I'm glad it worked for you.
right. But I think, I mean, how many times do you want to do something? You go to a YouTube video and you find it and you learn how to do it.
Exactly.
Now that is an immense
I mean, that's
asset, in my
anything.
opinion.
You can,
Right, but I'm saying 30 years ago, that's not what happened.
No, 30 years ago, I went to the manuals.
because that's all there was.
Yeah.
But right now,
Manuals
when
and
you buy a
stuff.
product, you don't have the time. You don't get a manual.
You don't
with
really
it.
get a manual,
And that is a particularly annoying to me.
but it
Yeah.
That's your age
controls
group.
cost.
And yes, it does. And the other thing is, we got something we bought recently, and there must have been instructions in 40 GD languages.
That's
there.
correct. That's what it
Okay.
is now.
This is an English speaking language. I don't say that you can't have other languages, but Jesus, let's stay fundamentally with English.
Laura says people are afraid of change. Change is inevitable, good or bad. People get comfortable and they get scared, especially if they are misinformed.
Yep.
And that
I
happens.
think
a
we all
lot.
agree with that.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
That's
absolutely.
Yep.
what happens, and we all know what social media group has a tendency to misinform,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
which causes a lot of.
Because they want their 15-second news without any meat to it.
Well, that's exactly
I agree.
what happens. You know.
I agree 100%.
A lot of people try to glean as much information as they can from the title, and that's about it.
And then they create
Yeah,
what
then they
they
create
think
their
that
own
it
story.
is,
Yep.
and there all of a sudden, boom, you got fake news.
Well,
So you get fake news out of actual news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm sure that all of us sitting here have at one time or another been at a party, especially when we were younger, and you'd whisper something in the first person's ear, and by the time it got to the last person,
Different.
You couldn't possibly recognize what the first person had said.
Welcome
yeah.
to social media.
Yep.
There you go.
Social media is one big game of telephone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Explain that for me. I'm an old guy.
Telephone?
Well, I
Well,
recognize
that's the
what a
game.
telephone
Well,
is.
not what that is, but the game. That's what you were talking about. We whisper in one person's ear, and then they have to repeat it, and then repeat it. And usually, it's pretty well changed by by the time you reach the end.
Okay.
I mean, who knew 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you'd be using your phone to do everything. You don't even need a computer anymore.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, you're right.
You do. I mean, pay your bills, read your email, write stuff, track stuff.
Yep.
You can do anything you want. A little piece
I mean,
of
look at the
equipment.
size of your fingers compared to mine. How the hell can you use anything on a phone? I mean,
can't. It's tiny.
I mean, my fat fingers, even
Me
though
too.
they're
I got
pretty
the
damn
same
thin.
problem.
You got sausage fingers, man.
Yeah, that's the problem.
All right, so that's going to kind of bring us into something that we had I posted a couple of days ago. Well, here's a comment that I missed. A data center will bring a steady stream of revenue to the town with almost no cost to the environment or infrastructure.
Absolutely.
It will provide some temporary construction jobs, but more importantly, it'll provide good-paying tech jobs permanently.
Exactly.
So there is that. But here's a question that I put up, and I got actually 92 comments on this. And I asked, this is an honest question, but I'm really curious as to what type of business that that isn't in Grizzled, but that you find, and here's the key word. And I think some people kind of didn't digest this one word. Suitable for this town.
Oh, that's an easy one.
I'm finding that no matter what is rumored or is coming, there are large concerns about everything. What do the residents want? So that's what spurred us into the chicken manure plant and, spreading chicken manure and just having some fun with it and to see what people would think. You were going to say, Jim. You said that's an easy. It's an easy question to answer.
We hear continuously people would like to have a grocery store in town.
All right, but why don't grocery stores come here? I know the answer.
Oh, I know the answer too.
Mm-hmm.
Not
enough rooftops. That's the thing.
Okay.
So
and it's a vicious circle because you get more rooftops, we get more children, we get more expense to the town to support because there isn't a family in town that pays enough taxes to educate one child, let alone 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very true.
Now, I mean, I certainly believe in education, as you all know that. I mean, I think the most important thing we can have is an educated populace.
So now I'm going to go back to the word suitable. There are a lot of businesses that people want, So, and I have a question, about this. So I'm going to read a couple of these and just to see which kind of thing.
These are the comments, the 90 comments.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
I'm going to read it just to give you an idea of what people want.
Yep.
Or what maybe they didn't see the word suitable, but what they want. Okay. Some you may find frivolous. Some you may find realistic. That's for you to decide. Italian deli, restaurant or cafe with healthy options. Boutiques. A bookshop cafe. It was about 9 people that said that. Tea, coffee, baked goods, someplace to be able to do poetry nights, open mic nights, which is exactly what I've been talking about personally. And there's about 9 people, 9 or 10 that said that. I'm just scrolling. Cumberland Farms.
I mean, a couple of a couple of the things they are saying is encouraging because people are looking to get away from the idiot box and actually do something. I'll say more educational. I'm not sure that's.
But I mean,
the right
I'd be willing to bet that education that group of people are not people that are 20 or 25 years old.
A decent internet company, as ours is out again.
Well, they got Atlantic Broadband or
They didn't say.
Verizon.
More choices to eat out. A Yankee Candle and maybe a Christmas tree shop. Grocery store.
Again, I think those things, Mike, there's not enough rooftops.
Well, if you remember, Jim, a while back, there was thought of a Christmas tree shop trying to get them to come in where the tractor store, that mall over there.
Uh-huh.
But again, there was not enough rooftops enough to even consider coming in.
a bike shop, and then somebody goes off and goes, Ollie's, TJ Maxx, FYE, bam, Christmas tree shop, nice seafood restaurant, Red Robin, Dave and Buster's, a concert, Coliseum, and a partnership with a pro sports team, and then of course a dispensary. Well, you got to be stoned to have all that stuff. So no.
I mean, I think there's some good suggestions there. Again, the
Yeah.
problem is we
Here's
you
the
know,
thing.
we don't have the 100,000. We don't have a majority of the population in $100,000 a year like you have towards the western part of the state, so that I mean,
Yeah.
they can support that kind of stuff. Well, we can't.
Well, one of the residents went in there and said, well, what are we going to turn into? Another Norwich, another Groton, and whatever, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, well, people are saying, well, I want a supermarket. Perfect example, not enough rooftops. So what do you have to do? You've got to put in industry. You got to put in industry that are going to bring in 200 jobs, 300 jobs, 400 jobs, whatever. It moves people to the area. Once you do that, so what does that do? Look at the inventory, Jim. I'm sure you know for a fact. What's the inventory like right now as far as housing is concerned in this town?
Almost nothing.
Slim to none. So what are they going to do? Now it's gonna open up construction jobs because somebody's got to build some stuff.
Yeah, here's the problem. Here's the problem, Mike, and that is the materials cost is escalating at an unbelievable rate. We just got word that a sheet of material that we use in flooring for subfloors is going up from well, I forget that it was about a $14 increase, and we were told expect another one on top of that. So the problem is that the housing cannot be put up in a cost effective manner that people can afford to buy it.
Yeah.
And one of my concerns is the prices are escalating so fast right now. I think that you're going to have problems getting appraisals that are going to meet the cost of constructing homes. And I'm not talking about McMansions. I mean, I'm talking about 44-foot raised ranches. Okay, in my opinion, I've built a lot of those, and that, in my opinion, is the best bang for your buck.
You know what I think would be absolutely phenomenal and would do really well? A little housing park with tiny homes.
Well, the
Yeah.
what is it? Triangle over here.
PWC. Yeah.
That was a conversation that was had. It didn't go much of any place.
Right.
But I actually did go a few years ago and listen to a presentation by some West Coast people. I think it was, because I guess that's fairly big out there. And you got to figure out what are you defining as a tiny house? I mean, a tiny house could be,
It's usually
150 square feet.
Usually they're 250 to 300 square feet.
I think that's
and
probably
and
reasonable.
below.
Yeah.
I mean the 300 footers, 300 square foot are the larger.
Yeah.
But technically, or not technically, I should say typically, they're about 120 to 150 square feet. Look them up. I'm telling you. Tinyhome.com.
Yeah, I know, but motorhomes are on that order are bigger than that, Mike. And I mean,
I know.
2 people living in a motorhome. Okay, that's not too bad. You put 4 people in a motorhome, and
I didn't say they were ready. They're for families. But you know what else they're building? They're building homes out of storage containers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've looked at that.
People they're stacking them.
Sure.
And creating a home that way. Or I've seen people actually take like 5 or 6 of them and create like a catacomb.
Yeah.
It's really kind of cool.
Yeah.
And it's inexpensive compared to other things. But I think you're going to start seeing people downsizing. They're going to get smaller. And I think these tiny homes would just sell like, make it look like Munchkin Land. I think it would just
Well,
Are you the
tiny home is not
lollipop
tiny
guild?
people, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Are you the
Eh, eh,
lollipop guild, Mike?
Mike, it's more than just the tiny home, okay? I mean, here in the Northeast, we have, in my opinion, absurd zoning.
Mhm.
Okay, uh, um, for an example, a property that my dad bought, 75 years ago. Okay, we could have built 400 or 500 homes on that property. By the time we finally sold it, there was a possibility of about 30 on the property. They went to 3 acre zoning. Okay, that's a major part of the cost of housing
Yeah.
today. Okay, I mean when you I don't even know what current figures are because I haven't put any roads in 40 years probably. But just when you got 150 or 175 or 200 foot of frontage, okay, that's a massive infrastructure cost to just put it in. And once it's in, it's a huge cost for the towns to take the towns and cities to maintain it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's go back to some
True,
reasonable
true.
size zoning. I mean, the borough zoning, a few years ago, they changed that from whatever it was to, I think it's up to 1 acre now in the borough. I'm not positive. Okay. So let's say, Paul, you and your wife each owned a lot, but you had it in common ownership. You could have built 2 homes there. Now you've lost that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you can only build one there.
One.
That's a taking of your property without due compensation.
Well,
You don't want to get me started on zoning.
no,
And
but
look at the town of Griswold. I think they have one of the better conservation and planning and zoning commissions that I've ever been in front of. And I've done a lot of stuff in a lot of places. I take my hats off to those people.
Well,
They're
hopefully they'll pass.
reasonable and they're rational.
Hopefully they'll pass the chicken manure farm.
I hope so, because I mean, we need that fertilizer.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jim, the story was just a bunch of shit, man.
I know that.
See, the thing is I knew he knew. As soon as he sat down, I'm like,
This is
he's going to be too serious about this. I mean, it's like, come on, Jim, loosen up, dude. It's like, because serious Jim is serious.
And I was winking at him trying to tell him we were bullshitting, but it didn't work.
No.
So we were already down the road. I saw you winking, Paula. I says, all right.
You gave it up? I didn't see you do
I was
that.
winking to him so he would realize and go along with it.
I knew it was BS before I even saw him winking. I mean, it made so little sense.
It's because you have too much common sense. You do. You can't get anything past you. Nothing.
That's not true.
I don't know. I don't think I would.
Yeah,
I don't think I would really try to get anything past you because I don't.
All we're trying to do is just be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a little exercise in futility.
I think that's a very valid comment, Paul.
Yeah.
The grass is always greener in the other guy's yard until you get over there and you find out, oh my God, his is brown and it's muddy besides.
Right.
Yep.
What about a campground? Ashford's biggest taxpayer is Briarlee Family Campground. Okay. Somebody says open an axe throwing company. And then here's a great idea, but it'll never work. And I'll tell you, and Jim, I'm sure you'll say this too. Tiny homes for homeless vets.
Mhm.
It's a great idea.
It is.
Never work. Where's the money coming from? Is it still a business venture? Unless there are a crap ton of grants that are available for that. But you think that they would be utilized already for other things, which they are not.
Well,
But I would love to see that.
we built the homes for the veterans down on South Main Street.
Mhm.
Okay. And
You mean the stacked housing?
the brick building?
American
yeah,
Legion.
American. Yeah. Okay. And if you gave me a piece of land, okay, I could have probably built you 20 times as many homes as they did there for the money it was spent there.
Mhm.
Okay. I don't know what those units ended up costing. I know a former business partner of mine was bidding on some of that work, and it was just insanity. And part of it is because of government regulations. You got to pay prevailing wages.
Mhm.
And there's nothing wrong. I mean, people aren't earning enough money to the majority of them aren't earning enough money to be able to live. Okay. And we've gone from a single working person in a family to both people working.
And even more than
and
that.
more than that, there's some of
Yeah.
them are working part-time in addition to the job.
Sometimes
Okay.
they have another family member come in, move in.
Some
Yeah,
of them
and
can
then
still
boom.
just barely scrape by.
Let me tell you something. When I was growing up, Jim, we had 3 working adults.
Mhm.
3 working adults in my house. 2 of them were nurses.
Mhm.
Still, just to get by. I mean, we had a home and stuff like that, but still, we weren't rich by any stretch.
No, and when I was growing up, it was usually the male that was the worker. I don't care who's the worker. I don't care if it,
Right.
I'm absolutely an equal opportunity person for women. Okay, they should be for doing the same job. They should be paid the same wages as any man is. And we still have some. I mean, there's been a lot of progress made in the last 20 years, but there still is a significant discrepancy, and we'd have a lot less problems in our society if we went back to one person working to support a family. Okay, because we have so many people that are out there working that the children aren't being supervised necessarily the case, and that's a blanket statement, and I don't mean it that way, because certainly lots of people, both parents are working, are certainly supervising their children and doing the right things. But it's a
Right.
very difficult job, especially for the woman. I mean, she's working full time. She comes home, she's got to take and do all the rest of the stuff that a housewife did 50 years ago.
Well, I think that should be shared,
I agree.
which
I agree.
Some do, some don't.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean,
Paul just sits in his lazy boy all day.
No. Jenny, get me a beverage.
No.
I don't see
Get
that
my own-
happening.
Get my own.
Yeah.
I do my own laundry.
Me too.
I do my own laundry. I've done my own laundry for years.
Well, that's an interesting story. The laundry. My folks went on a vacation. There was 4 boys living at home, and my mother says, "You guys got to start doing your own laundry now." Okay, ma, that's fine. We'll do it. She comes back and she says, "You guys use too much soap. You do this, you do that. Get out of the laundry room." Basically, I believe she just didn't want to let it go.
You ever see the Brady Bunch? With their laundry episode, one of the kids tried to do laundry, put too much laundry soap in there,
It's bubbly,
it was bubbly all over the house.
Yeah.
Marsha. So getting back to what we were originally talking about,
The chicken
business.
processing manure.
Well, yeah, that was kind of the caveat that brought us into what we were doing. There's all of these businesses that people want, but I knew Jim was going to be smack dab on the money when somebody brought up, I think it was you, or the people want a grocery store.
Oh, somebody knows.
Yeah, and Jim and I looked at each other and went, "Not enough rooftops," and that's
Yep.
true. So how do you get enough rooftops? You got to bring a business in like the data centers that will employ a bunch of people, like Plainfield is doing with Amazon.
Yep.
Once you do that, and you can then what happens? There's so much residual effect
Oh yeah.
that
Good
will
echoes.
happen. And I don't know if
It's
if,
the spin-off business.
huh?
It's the spin-off business.
Exactly. So you have so let's just say Amazon. Amazon's going to Plainfield. Done deal. They're going to start building. So it's going to create about 400 or 500 jobs. Okay. So what has to happen? People are either going to move in or they're going to commute.
Yep.
But some people are going to want to move,
Absolutely.
and they're going to move.
Yep.
Management, they may be coming from a different part of the country. They're going to have to look. They're going to have to look for residents.
Sure.
So what happens if there's really not enough inventory? There's no inventory in Griswold to be had.
I'm
So you
not
gotta
sure.
build.
I'm not sure there's much inventory around the area.
Yeah, I think
really.
you're right. Yeah. So you got to build.
Yep.
You got to build either apartment houses or single family homes, or you have to develop. So what happens there? You're putting people to work.
Yep.
You're putting contractors to work.
Sure.
You're putting plumbers to work. You're putting electricians to work.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. So what happens then? Oh, people move to the area.
Yep.
Oh, guess what? Oh, I really want to go to breakfast. I
want to go to Daybreaks,
Yep.
down in Plainfield. Next thing you know, they're busier. Why?
Yep.
Because there's more people in town. So when you bring more people and more people into town, because of a large business that's paying more taxes, your taxes are going to go lower. More business wants to come in. Why?
Yep.
Because maybe your taxes are lower. Never happened, but still, that's the idea.
In theory, it sounds
In
good.
theory, it's a good idea. So then that's when Griswold gets a supermarket.
Right? Yeah.
Or Jewett City gets a supermarket.
Right. See, I don't talk about business super often, but it's like I always say, business echoes. It does, because it's like Jim, good job, me. It's like Mike is talking about, and Jim, you're talking about it too. It's, you get one big thing looks at you and goes, man, I kind of want to move here. Like Amazon with Plainfield. They're like, you got this big open lot. You ain't got nothing going on here. All right, we'll take it. And then you get more people. Infrastructure grows. People move. People commute. People do whatever. People start going to more businesses locally because they need food. They need whatever, just supplies, whatever. And then you got to build more homes if there are none. So it just grows and grows and grows. And then more businesses look at it and they go, man, this is a happening place. We should get in there and do something.
You got to build, you got to build the tax base. I mean, you got to build the business base, and then you have to build the residence base too. Because, and this was the whole point, and I want Paul to either tell me I'm thumbs up or thumbs down on this, and you too, Jim. If you keep building business and people come into town, that's a great thing. However, for all of these businesses that people are talking about that they want, remember I said suitable, but it got into a discussion of what I want and maybe not so much suitable. All of these businesses that you see on this list, I don't know if they're suitable. Right? It's what they want. Right. So, for example, the data center, you bring that in, all these people, there's a bunch of people that move into town. Sure. This is when you get your boutiques. This is when you get your Italian deli. This is when you get your coffee shop, or big,
right,
grandiose kind of coffee shop if you wanted to.
Right.
A bakery. And why? Because there's a residence base to substantiate it and to support it. Right now, some of these larger companies that people are talking about that they want, Moe's, Christmas tree shops, Trader Joe's, they're not coming. And why? Because there's not enough people. You don't move a business or create a business in a town that's got a declining residence base. You just don't. It's a recipe for failure. There's a new business on Main Street. I'm not going to say where, but I haven't seen a person walk into it yet. And they've been open a week.
That's good. You got a good point. I mean, most businesses definitely do a marketing plan before they're even going to go anywhere. They look at the demographics.
Yeah.
Who's the people that are going to come to their business? And if they aren't there, guess what? Why would you even come here? Mm-hmm. But you're right. As other businesses come in, such as the data centers, such as you have 60 or 70 people per building once they're built, and the people are working here, those people, you're right. People are going to either want to move, commute, but that'll attract maybe a supermarket coming in.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Maybe a Burger King because fast food. If you got all these little buildings and you got 60 people per building, now you got a fast food place because now people are going to want to go out to lunch and grab a quick burger or whatever the hell it is. Yeah. That's the stuff that's going to turn this around. But right now, a lot of these places are not suitable because there's not enough people to support it.
Right, exactly.
Until that happens, these businesses are not going to come here.
The companies just don't see the dollars. They don't see the ability to move in here and actually make money instead of just falling through and, having to close down and waste all that money and time.
This could be our Lisbon landing, as Laura says.
Yeah.
One of the problems is We're all looking for instant gratification.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And the same thing with businesses. All right. Without infrastructure, you're not going to attract the businesses. Okay.
Right,
That
absolutely.
has been the thing. We've had dozens of major outfits come in, sit down with us, especially around 164, because you got good access to the highway right there. And when they find out you're 2 or 3 years away from the infrastructure, they go someplace else.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Plainfield had the infrastructure. I'm not positive whether Amazon was talking with us or not. Okay.
I don't
Okay.
think so. I don't know.
I
But
don't think so. They wanted that spot off by where the dog track was.
yeah.
Yeah.
But there's warehousing. Okay. Which
Yep.
again, a lot of people, no cost to the
Yeah.
town. Okay. Other than the workers coming in.
Right.
Okay. We've had many people look at 164, less out towards Bishop Crossing. They're not going to wait. They're not going to wait.
Right.
They
Right.
they want shovel ready stuff.
Yep.
And that's what I mean. We're building, and we're in a building stage here in Griswold. Like the senior center. The senior center, I truly believe that will bring. I think people look at stuff like that to whether or not they're going to come to this town.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I think they look at, I know Jim, you're saying, but to me, honestly, a nice senior center, a gathering place.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it doesn't help. I'm not saying it doesn't
Well-
help, but most people, young people, they're looking at the education system.
Well,
Right, right.
drive by on by the schools. Look at that place.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's not a Taj Mahal. I don't care what anybody says. It's
But
not a
it's
Taj
not.
Mahal.
But if you look at it and you say, "Wow, this is quite the area for schools." Wow,
I mean, we have a nice complex. up there.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But they need to build on it because there are a lot of things that Griswold does not have
Well,
that they could use. There's not anything in that building that is not being used. And that's
I
the
don't
thing.
In what building?
Griswold Public Schools. They use every part of that facility. They didn't build anything frivolously. It wasn't kind of, we want a swimming pool, so let's build this. No.
But
Everything that they have, they use.
if you didn't live in this town, you didn't live in this state, and you drove by that complex, you would walk by. So I wonder what college that is,
Yeah.
because it looks like
No.
a college campus.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like driving.
Well, I
by
know
on a
from
thing.
from the look at it, the school campus is gorgeous, and
Yeah.
and I think we're lucky to have that here.
Right.
I just get a little irritable when somebody says, "Well, it's the Taj Mahal." It's not.
Yeah.
It looks nice, sure.
well,
Because you don't want it looking like a dump. Because then
Exact-
nobody's gonna want to.
well,
I mean, nobody's
true.
gonna want to come here. Nobody's gonna want to go to the school.
Yeah.
If it looks run down, rocks through the window, nobody's. What squatting place is that?
So I want to just go ahead and here's some great ideas, which I would love to see here. So Linda puts up, a market.
Yep.
Family entertainment, such as go-karts, maybe a Dairy Queen or something of the like, a museum. And then she also says a sports arena. Those are all wonderful things. But none of that will work right now.
No.
Period.
Yeah.
And Linda, those are great ideas, and I would love to see all of those. But right now, until you have more people moving to the area, more industry coming into Griswold,
Yep.
It's not
expanding
feasible.
that. Yeah, it's not profitable.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
it's
look at Dodge Stadium.
Dodge Stadium.
I mean, that thing. I mean, it was a gorgeous place, but there isn't that many people that go there.
Well,
Right.
there's an interesting subject. Okay, sports facilities.
Mhm.
Yep.
All right. The tax in many communities, they put a burden on the taxpayer to build those things. Those are for private businesses.
Yep.
Okay. And I don't feel, and I understand it from the point of economic development. Okay, you build a stadium and it brings a lot of people to these. So okay, but why should the taxpayers be subsidizing, especially the National Football League, in particular, with huge stadiums that are being paid for with public money?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, look at the one that happened in Hartford.
Your
that
goats. Yeah.
Yep.
That one there tried and failed, and then they
Still alive.
Just as a matter of fact, I think they just had one game finally after 2 years. I mean,
Yeah.
But,
No,
but the
about last year.
other advantage we have, and they know they don't belong to the town, but there already are complexes around where they hold these kinds of things. You got a professional women's basketball team at Mohegan Sun. You had the hockey. You had the Wolves there. They just left, but they were there.
Oh, the Hartford Wolfpack.
Yeah, and look at this.
No,
Look at this. Look at
the lacrosse
Oh,
team.
the
Black
cross
Wolves.
team. Yeah,
Wolfpack,
Black Wolves.
Black Wolves.
Look at
yeah.
you. Look what you got at Boxwood. You got the race cars. You got the zip line. You got all that stuff down there.
Yep.
And why is it there? People are there.
Yep.
It's an attraction for people to go there.
Right.
Well, also in those facilities, there are also much more to do than just, getting in, some of those turbo race cars or maybe an arcade
Right.
or whatever.
Yeah.
There's much more to do.
Yeah.
You put something like that in Griswold and have it be a standalone business
Be tough.
right now.
Be tough.
It's not going to
And
make
you
it.
have
Not
one in
gonna
Montville.
happen.
I don't know about the one in Montville, but you have a race car place at Montville too, right?
You talking about on Route 12?
Yeah. How's
It's
that one?
gone.
Is it gone?
So that ice cream place is gone too.
Really?
No, I'm talking about that one, and they just built the indoor go kart.
Oh,
Oh.
and 85.
Yeah, someplace.
Mohegan Sun owns that.
Oh, they own that.
Yeah, they bought it because the other company was going bankrupt.
Well, see, there you go.
It's very expensive to go there.
Yeah.
For like a 3-minute race or 5-minute race.
Yeah.
It's like $20, $25.
Yeah, so nobody can really afford that. I mean,
Right.
I
No.
mean, right downtown here, you got the old wire wine facility. Okay, we've talked to people about that for as long as I've been on the Economic Development Commission. Nothing has happened there.
Yeah.
Why?
Don't know.
because nobody's.
I mean, the infrastructure is there. You got water, sewer, and now you got gas.
All right, Court Kinney just Jim, I want to direct this to you too, because this is something maybe you could answer because you're more involved. But he says rooftops don't matter. It's more location, infrastructure, and regulations.
I mean, I know Cortland very well.
I don't know him very well, but I know him.
We have
Yeah,
a
sure.
lot of good conversations together, and I agree largely.
Very
with-
nice guy.
I agree largely with what he said. I mean, what was the thing I said? You need the infrastructure. If you
Exactly.
don't have the infrastructure, but what we hear in the Economic Development Commission meetings is rooftops are important.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have enough rooftops, you don't support the business.
Right. You're not going to build
Yeah.
a supermarket that's rated, okay, this size, this is what we have, this is what we build. This could service 30,000 people for a town with 12,000 people in it.
So let's say we don't have a supermarket, which we don't. Tell me one thing Griswold has or Jewett City has that I have to go to that I can't get anywhere else. Think.
Pizza.
Come on.
Jewett City Savings Bank.
No,
Oh.
they got offices from Pawcatuck to
Yeah.
Putnam,
Yeah, but
baby.
why wouldn't you want to go to the original?
Why? It's a great bank.
Convenience.
Exactly.
Convenience.
That's what I'm saying. It's a great bank.
Convenience. And well, they've been voted the #1 bank for I don't know a couple
And deservedly
But-
so.
few years, decades.
But we're no different than any other town.
I understand that, but what I'm
There's
saying
nothing
is that
special in a
tell
lot
me-
of towns.
okay, but tell me one thing. I'm not asking you that. I'm
Right.
asking you. Tell me one thing that somebody needs to come to Jewett City for. Just Jewett City. Let's just say Jewett City. That they can't. That is so unique.
Well, some people come to Griswold for the education system.
Okay. So let's talk. Let's talk. Just people coming through.
Flea market.
True.
Okay.
That too.
A
That
lot of
too.
people come to the flea market on
Yeah.
Sunday. They come from
Yeah.
all over.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
funny. You're not
Yeah.
even looking in Laura said flea market.
It's a good flea market.
It's
It's a big flea market too.
Yeah.
It's big.
and I went there Sunday. And
Anything good?
well, I bought something I thought was the best purchase in the world, but people will laugh at me. You remember
I don't.
McDonald's?
You've been laughed at before.
I
Mike.
know. So you know the old commercial for McDonald's where they had the fillet of fish and they had the fish on the wall.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
this
yeah,
when they
you
had
told us
hamburgers
about
2
this.
for a quarter?
No,
Yeah.
no, but I do remember back in the day when you could get when they used to advertise saying the only place you can go to get a hamburger, a French fry, and a soda, and you still get change for $1.
Well, I think I remember 15 cents a piece,
Really?
2 for a quarter.
Well, this one was. and
Not that
don't
I
think it
ever
should
bought
be-
them because I never had 15 cents, but
You had millions. You still millions.
yeah.
Anyway,
This
Chip's
was an
commercial
oil
back in the day
tycoon.
was "Give me back my plate of
The fish.
fish. Give me my fish." You know, you got the bass is flopping on the wall.
Hey, you were telling us about this on Monday.
I bought it.
There you go.
Yeah.
I got it for $10.
Hey, when we were kids, if we could make 7 or 8 cents a week if we did all our chores.
Yeah. Oh, Linda said, sounds silly, but when I was a kid, I used to come there to a place that sold ice cream. Don't remember the name. Norman's Dairy.
Yeah.
Nothing else to bring us there except tag sales. Something small worlds get out and people go for that. They do, but we have to look at it at a much larger scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking about lowering a tax base. You know, you can't do it on tag sales, and fillet of fish,
Plaques.
statues, and
Yeah.
Well, the other thing that people used to come to Union City for was the bakery. People came for the bakery.
on Sunday they would come for the bread, and I'm not kidding you.
Yeah.
The line would be
Yeah.
around the building.
Yeah, that's what they
Before
used
they
to come.
opened.
I always came to Union City for the bakery. Yeah,
And there is no bakery.
no more.
There's no more Aramoni's Bakery.
Right.
It's not coming back.
No.
And we can't go ahead and judge any bakery and put them up against Aramoni's,
No.
because then we'll be positioning them to fail.
Right.
This is why a bakery will never work in Jewett City again.
Yeah, because the Aramoni's is still in people's minds. So until that disappears, the bakery.
Well, until the people that frequented it have gone on to the next life.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of them have probably, but
Linda, I don't want you to think that your ideas are wrong. They're not. They're not wrong at all. And I love my Mayberry small town. I honestly do. I'm just bringing up facts or discussion points that I don't know the answers. I don't know all the answers. I don't know if I know any of the answers.
Yeah. But even a town like Mayberry can't survive unless it has revenue coming in.
Right.
Yep.
So the days of the Mayberries are gone. There's no more Andy and no more Barney.
Go away.
And some of us old farts like you and I, Paul, we envision, we live that life.
Right. You're absolutely right.
And that goes to what I said earlier about the old money and the new money, and the older generation and the newer generation. They're not meshing together because everybody wants what they want.
Right.
And it's the way that it is. So now let's look at what Linda just said. We don't know the answers.
Right.
You know, all we're doing is we're facilitating a conversation to get Linda to get you involved, to get Laura involved, Roxana.
We're just trying to get the people involved.
Exactly.
Get a conversation going.
Yeah. Daryl, many people that, Joanne, David, on a list goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
This is to get you guys, involved and who knows, maybe one of the great ideas that needs to happen for Jewett City or Grizzled will come from someone in the chat room that just kind of said, "Hey, what about this?"
Chicken manure.
Chicken manure.
Chicken manure. Let's go. Here we go. We're going full circle.
And it's true. And we're going to leave it at this. Now, you can make chicken salad out of chicken shit. And we proved that today.
Yeah.
Well,
Jim doesn't think so.
we're lucky. You have some watchers here that come up with they're doing
Yeah.
a lot of thinking, and they're coming up with valid
Right.
valid ideas and suggestions.
Absolutely.
I mean, in my opinion, there's no idea that's a bad idea.
Right.
You gotta vet it. And
Yes.
So you think my chicken manure idea is pretty good then?
The argument is really good. The argument is really good.
I supported the chicken manure processing facility. Okay, I just told you it wasn't real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that what I said?
Yes, sir. But the thing was, when you said that, my head went, oh, "This is perfect,"
Yeah.
because it was a great way to start the conversation about economic development and getting people engaged.
Right.
And it's like town hall meetings or board of selectmen meetings.
Not enough people go.
No.
You know, if you just went, maybe you would sit there and all of a sudden an idea would come to mind. You don't have to sit there and talk about it at the Board of Selectmen meeting. You could tell a friend who could, that could act on it or give you advice.
Well, Mike, following up with the lack of people that are at the Board of Selectmen or any board meetings.
Yeah.
Is that you and I and Ed Burdick spent a lot of time trying to facilitate getting not all of them, but some of those meetings actually broadcasted so that people could participate from home. And I think that would be extremely valuable. And I think Todd I think he's picked the ball up again and is working.
I sent a proposal in.
Oh, you did?
Well, one of the Board of Finance members asked me to send a proposal in.
Yeah.
Because I think that these have to be streamed. And not because not everybody can. We don't live in a 9-to-5 cookie cutter society anymore. People are walking. Look at Foxwoods. Their schedules 2 a.m. to 10 a.m. You know what I mean? 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. It just goes on and on and on. They're just different. It's not like it was when I was growing up.
Right.
Even then, my dad worked a rotating shift. Hey, quiet down out there. We're doing a radio show.
I hope he's a friend of yours.
It's one of the guys from A Reason to Ride. That's all. So, he worked a rotating shift, or what they call relief shift. So he worked 2 weeks first, 2 weeks the second, 2 weeks the third, and then he worked 2 weeks of a couple of days of each. And it was
How the hell can you have a life like that?
Yeah, well, they pay more money.
Well,
for relief
I was going to say, you do what you have to do to survive.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
But my dad was a worker. He worked for American Standard, and he worked in the kilns. That's why he's 122 pounds soaking wet. He was just very, very thin. He still is.
He worked good at the chicken manure farm.
And you know what? He could outwork all of us. That son of a bitch. All right, that's going to do it for us. Thank you very much. We had some really great ideas, some great conversation. And don't forget, the only thing that we do here is we're just trying to facilitate conversation to get you involved. Tell people what we do, and hopefully maybe we could have more people and more ideas come from our broadcast, and really your broadcast, because it comes from you, not us.
Yep.
That's it. So for Jim, for Austin, for Paul Lash. Paul, you had one job, Lash. We're out of here. We'll see you once again tomorrow morning right here on the streaming news in Sports Network SNSN.
For Griswold High School Sports and your home for local news and weather. Broadcasting from Main Street in the borough of Truett City. The